Ladies, when you have a gut feeling that there's something your child needs or is going through, that's your mother's intuition, and you can learn how to tap into it to be a better parent. Ask your spirit. This new book says to receive life-changing wisdom from your elevated intelligence. The author, Christine Lang, joins us now with more. Christine, thank you for taking the time. How are you today?
Oh, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
It's a pleasure. I like this notion because every mom can attest to having that feeling. But one of the biggest things that happens to me when I get that feeling is I start to doubt, is this me being a worrywart or am I right? How do you know?
So I always say your intuition comes in like a soft knowing, and your ego mind, your brain's chatter, comes in like an arrow because there's an urgency to it. Like, oh, you have to call that guy back. Oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, I forget. There's fear behind it. So it makes it come in with this sense of urgency. That's not your intuition. Your intuition has this quiet confidence, this quiet knowing, where you just know what's right for your child. You just know what they need when. Or your child may come home from school and say, I'm fine. And you're like, yeah, no, you're not, right? And you just have that knowing. It's not the rapid fire mind chatter. That's the sign that we're sort of making it up, or our brain is.
That's a really good way to go about figuring it out. But how do we tap into that intuition? And what do you even mean by that?
So intuition is described as what you know, not based on logic. We can't say how we know it, but we just know it. So you approach a friend and you ask how they're doing, and your friend says, I'm fine. And you're like, no, I know you're not. And I don't know if it's body language. I don't know if it's your energy that I'm feeling. But we pick up a lot from someone's energy. That's why we talk about cheering somebody up when they're down. We feel how the energy is vibrating in a person. And that's a big part of our intuition, as well as our emotional intelligence and what we feel from them. So all of these things combine to give us messages from our own inner guidance, our own spirit, that directs us as to the most heart-based way to move through the world and parent our children and take care of ourselves.
I can think of, as we're talking, a couple of times where this has happened to me. For instance, you go to the doctor with your child and they say, oh, it's nothing to worry about. It's probably just blank. But inside you're like, I feel like I should explore this more. So when you have those feelings, how do you know that you should explore it, and what should you do about it?
So I always say, get quiet. When we get still, we tap into that knowing. So often people describe getting these intuitive insights in the shower or driving, doing something where your conscious mind is just slightly occupied, but the rest of you is still and quiet. And when we are still and quiet, we make that space to listen to what our body's trying to tell us, to what our central nervous system is trying to tell us. And people are always shocked when they get quiet and still and just sit quietly. They're like, oh, I know what my child needs. And it's holding that desire to just tune in and make that emotional connection to your child in that moment. What does my child need right now?
What does my child need right now? And should we also help our children develop their own intuition? Because I'm sure that they too have gut feelings about friends or something that doesn't feel quite right.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to coach my clients on is using your intuition to teach your child how to use their own intuition, because that's a skill they'll have for the rest of their lives. When my boys were young, I told them, if it feels not right, just know that it's not right for you right then. You don't have to know why. You don't have to be able to explain it. Just kind of get out of that situation and come home and say, if it feels bad, it is bad. We'll figure it out later. And then I help them understand the clues their body or their central nervous system was trying to tell them about. Oh, that kid's about to do something not quite right, or that teacher's saying something that isn't quite accurate for you. So helping them break down that intuitive guidance they got is so helpful. But as my boys got used to working with their own intuition, my son came home from middle school one day and said, oh, we got a new art teacher today. And I loved how her energy lit up when she talked about art. She's not just a substitute teacher. She really loves this topic. So he got that information from his own intuition. He wouldn't have described it as that, but he trusted how his body felt when he was in front of this person. And I think it's so empowering for our children. They're told so often they don't know what they're talking about. They're just kids. But when we can validate what they're feeling and help them express it in a way that keeps them empowered and has the adults not just dismiss them,
Yes.
I think they take that through the rest of their lives.
For sure. Build confidence and will serve them well. Christine Lang, thank you for putting all this in the book. You can read it to find the guidance you need. It's called Ask Your Spirit, and it is out now. Still